I think I'm about to get on y'all nerves today. But ladies, if y'all don't need men, if y'all really feel like y'all don't need men, how would y'all get child support? In fact, if we didn't need them, child support wouldn't even exist. They exist. I mean, it exists because we need the financial support and the cooperation of a man. How does this get missed? Y'all just don't be making no damn sense.
So we already let the white women convince us to kick out the black fathers and we didn't need black men with the feminist movement. And now this 4B movement, we about to let these women from Korea convince us to not create families in the black community. And I'm seeing women, I just did my research. I saw a few videos and I see women talking about, I've been on a 4B movement. I'm on a 4C, D, E, F. We don't need these men. We got to strategize. We got to get strategic about how these men are about to come after us. Y'all been talking about decentering men. Like, y'all got to wake up. This is not beneficial to us. If y'all think the strategy is getting rid of men, not having families, not having babies, that's going to be a lonely, lonely life. All it is a way to keep you single and by yourself. And that is not a healthy, happy, fulfilling life, to be by yourself. Who wants to be by yourself? Like, seriously. I know we talk about I'm single by choice. Okay, for now, which is cool. But y'all, so we about to, this is what we are strategizing. Not strategizing how we can create families, how we can better our community. We strategizing on how we can lock in as women and, I'm gonna pray. I'm gonna pray.
What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Ron, back with another video. If you're new to the platform, welcome to the tribe. By the end of this video, I hope you subscribe. So apparently there is like a new radical feminist movement on the horizon, or is trending, I suppose, called 4B. Now this has been popping up on my feed a little bit, but it seems to be gaining some traction. So I thought I'd go over it because I looked it up. And supposedly it's a radical feminist movement. The 4B movement is a radical feminist movement originating in South Korea in 2019. Its members renounce 4 activities: sex, child rearing, dating, and marriage. The movement is based on 4 rules that guide women to disrupt patriarchy and live safer lives away from men.
Bruh. You stupid.
The movement is mostly digital and represents a radical escalation of the gender war. The movement is also linked to lesbian feminism in South Korea. Now that might have some validity to it, because to be honest with you, hearing this out loud, it kind of low-key sounds like the opposite version of MGTOW to some degree. Maybe a little bit femcel activity. But we're going to see what some other people at TikTok have to say about it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it.
Saying, oh, 4B movement in Korea, blah, blah, blah. Well, let me tell you, the 4B movement in Korea is nothing like the white feminism and the feminist movement in America.
I gotta hear this. So please talk to the mentally deficient women in the United States of America that want to follow this movement.
The cultural and the social systems and the family, how the families are run in Korea is nothing like how the families and the social structure is in America. White women have the most power, privilege, and freedoms of any women on this planet. And if you look at any relationships, as long as it's not an abusive relationship, that's a whole nother deal. But any normal relationships, if you look at it in America, women have the power. I would say white women have more power than the average white man in America. And when I see the white women trying to jump on this 4B movement, it's just like they're just trying to use women of color, like they've done historically.
One more time for the slow women in the back.
Like they've done historically. historically, white women have always used women of color to get their agenda through and to get ahead, and then leave us behind.
Wow. Wow. You needed applause for that. But I might not agree with everything she's saying, but this was spot on. The Blue Book gentlemen, aka the passport bros, have been saying this. And these women in the United States of America will gravitate to anything that a particular group will tell them what to follow, how to think. That's what I'm saying. People, they got a certain demographic or group of women who call themselves the most educated, but critical thinking is not their strong suit. They operate from feelings, a disdain and hate for the very men that look like them. And I don't agree with men disliking the women that look. I don't agree with it on both ends. But this is one that needs to be said. And it had to be a Korean woman to say it. Because they're giving out degrees at the back of grocery stores. That's what they're doing. Because these women are not able to, it's not going to work in America. It's not going to work. They get you guys to follow something, believe in something, and then the other women start jumping on it as if it's powerful and it's... I'm glad you said it.
I've noticed the culture of white women in America tend to bash white men. That's because they want to be white men. They want the power, they want the money, they want the status.
I could say more, but I'm not. Thank you, young lady.
First of all, shout out to Brazil. Yes, I'm glad he came across that clip because it's good to see that a Korean woman speak on this. Because this is, I mean, feminism has already has been fairly radical, but this takes it to a whole nother level. And to adopt this from, like she said, woman of color, and then try to apply that to what's going on in the States is really not a good idea, because this is just history repeating itself. We've pretty much already been through this, especially black people. I'm like, you see how black women are towards black men in comparison to other races. So why would you want to sit over here and adopt this? You see what happened last time and you see where we are now. This is not going to help. All right, so I don't know what y'all think y'all gonna get out of this, and for real, it is. What's that woman's name that I say that look like Glorilla Princella? Yeah, her. It's giving Princella vibes, because women like her and women who think like this, it's like y'all come off like y'all low key trying to push lesbianism on the women, and it's really not cool. Let's keep it moving.
The movement in the United States has already failed. The followers just don't know it yet. I'm going to explain. So the 4B movement started in Korea in 2019, and it's the refusal of heterosexual marriage, childbirth, romance, and sexual relationships. Let's take heterosexual marriage. Well, guess what? Men control that. Yes. Men have to go buy the ring, ask your parents, get on one knee and propose. A lot of men are sitting on the sidelines and refuse to get married as it is, or they're going to other countries and becoming passport bros. So that's off the table. Next, we have childbirth. Well, already lost that one. We have women fighting against the Supreme Court right now for taking away their abortion rights, and they want to protect their other rights. You can never go and get a Plan B at CVS because they're all sold out. And then on top of that, Planned Parenthood stays busy and booked up. And then there's a ton of single moms. Next, we got romance. This is whining and dining, ladies. Are you telling me that American women are going to give up dates and men taking them out and whining and dining them? You're going to give up Valentine's Day, getting cards, flowers, candies. You're going to give up bags. You're going to give up shoes. You're going to give up somebody sending you money to get your hair and nails done. You're going to give that up? Because that's romance. Because that's what the 4B movement is. Next, we have sexual relationships. No. What all the SW workers gonna do? What they gonna do? They're gonna go from selling poom poom and making all of that money a month to working for $17.50 at McDonald's?
Hey, sweetness.
You know that's not going to happen. This movement has already failed. The followers just don't know it. Here's the other thing. The 4B movement calls for rejecting commercialism and consumerism as well as normal beauty standards. You know what that means, ladies? No wigs, no makeup, no lashes, no tattooing of the eyebrows, no waxing. None of that. Let me know what you think in the comments.
And shout out the Passport Blueprint also, who sent me, I think somebody else kind of covered this 4B movement. And when I tell you the clips of women and how they were talking, it was just kind of like, bro, y'all got some serious misandry to deal with. Yeah, brother, it's pretty bad. But what I wanted to do was do it from my angle, so I kind of like went through TikTok and came across all these clips, and the brother is right. And it's just like I said, I'm like, we're pretty much already going through this in the West. So this 4B movement for American women to latch onto this, it just sound like this is just their way of trying to one up men. And honestly, I mean, I hate to sound like a broken record, but passport bros exist for a reason. So it's like, this is already kind of going on. And if you want to be honest, men kind of been doing this well before this 4B movement ever became a thing. So I don't know if this is just to try to make them cope or make them feel better, but I mean, whatever. I really wouldn't give it much air, because I kind of, in my opinion, kind of seems like we're kind of already going through that. But let's continue.
Between social media and the minds of delusional, extremist Western women, it will truly be the demise of us. It will truly be the demise of us. Like, I've been seeing this 4B movement making its rounds on social media, specifically TikTok. And the 4B movement started as a good cause. Do not get me wrong. It definitely started as a good cause. But now that Western women, specifically American women, modern American women, the extremists, the radical ones that spend their lives on the internet, on social media, with their little crazy men bashing agenda, trying to get any and every woman on board, is definitely trying to make this a trend. And they're also adding trendy words to this 4B movement, like domestic servitude and domestic labor, when talking about wives. I just want to let you women know that you guys are freaking crazy. You guys are crazy. What you guys are doing have nothing to do with the women that actually started the 4B movement. And regardless if you believe in Christianity or not, one thing that we can all agree on is, now I get why the story about Adam and Eve makes so much sense, because it is so easy to manipulate a woman. Like, I would totally go after a woman if I wanted to wreak havoc on a community. I would go after an emotional woman. It is so easy to play on a woman, because look at the women on social media. These over emotional, men hating women. And for you women that are having so much fun making this 4B movement work for your agenda, simply because you hate a man because he cheated on you or made you a baby mama or didn't give you what you wanted, because your daddy made you mad or your baby daddy made you mad. I really hope, specifically for you American women, because you guys are the ones that don't know what you want. On one end, you want to talk about our men and compare our men to men of other cultures and say how those men are better. But then as a whole, you just want to throw all men under a bus. When you guys aren't doing that, when you guys aren't throwing all men under a bus, then you are weaponizing everything that makes the essence of a woman beautiful. You talk about us having a period. You use that as a weapon to a man. if you had to bleed for 7 days like I do. Like, are you freaking kidding me? Then don't. I pray that you never have to experience that, woman. Or, when you talk about having to give birth, having to labor, and the process of it, all of you women that complain about the process of being pregnant and having to get, I hope you never do it. I hope God never blesses you with it. If you have to use the essence of being a mother and weaponize it against men, I'm on my knees praying that you never experience the beauty of it. I pray that you never experience the beauty of it because you're weaponizing it. How dumb is that? Like, who does that? That's stupid. It is so stupid. But more than that, I really hope that when the time comes that men will have to step to the forefront, considering the things that are going on in current events with wars and everything else, and we really are going to need men to be men, whether it is protect, provide, to build, because there are men out here. I know a lot of you male bashing women are not used to those men because the men that you attract are pieces of shits. But there's going to come a time where you're going to need men to be out here being men. I hope they boycott against your ass. I hope they look at you and tell you no. Fend for yourself. When there's pirates coming after your shit and you have no men to protect you, the men that are, I hope they don't, I hope they say no. I hope they look at that as domestic labor. I hope they look at your woman ass and say no. I really do. I hope you get a piece of your cake. Seriously, you guys are doing way too much. You're doing way too much for no reason. I'm not gonna have sex unless you come home and you cook or you clean for me. But you're not gonna go out there and do shit when it comes to the car or the roof or any of that. You're not gonna lay down your life when the bad guys come in the house. But I'm not gonna do anything for you unless you do for me. Ew. Who made you? Nothing about you says woman.
The funniest thing about the 4B movement is it always comes from women that look more masculine than the men that they're talking about. And you know the exact women I'm talking about that have like the septum piercings, the different color hair, that literally are so far in their masculine role that the men weren't even looking in their direction in the first place. But the other funny part about it is it's another perfect example of how so many women are desperate to constantly compete with men. And it's just another way that these women are trying to one up men. But the irony is that men have already checked out of marriage. They don't want kids. They find women insufferable because women have literally made it impossible to make them happy. So men are over it. There's passport bros for a reason. But yet here come the women with their 4B movement trying to make an impact of something that the men are already doing, which is something historically women have done with jobs, with everything around them, trying to be mechanics, trying to do all the manly jobs or make more money and be boss ass babes. Everything is in competition with men. The same men that they claim not to give a shit about or that they don't need or yada, 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 that men are trash. But if there's so much trash, then why are you constantly competing with them or trying to one up them or be better than them? And the other funny thing about it is that these women claim that they don't want male attention or male validation and they're so over men, but they create all of this drama and all of this chaos circulating around men, knowing damn well they're going to get attention from men. So make that make sense. It's honestly the hypocrisy for me. And these are the same women in comments like myself saying, pick me, pick me, pick me. But y'all have perpetuated drama so much to get male attention because negative attention is still attention. And if women aren't seeking attention from men outside of creating all of this drama, then why are they still on OnlyFans? Why are there still so many single mothers? Well, guess what? Because there's always going to be women that are going to put themselves out there and put themselves in jeopardizing situations because they want to perpetually live in victimhood. And what's the alternative? That you become a lesbian where the divorce rates are higher and the domestic violence rates are higher in lesbian couples? So make that make sense. And the fucked up part about it is it's just another example of how women will set the standard of what they want, and when the men follow through even further or use women for something or another, they can turn around and flip it and be in their victimhood and be like, oh my God, all men are trash. And it just perpetuates the idea that all men are the same and all men are gross and disgusting, even though the men are following the same standard that the women set in the first place. Okay, bye.
And please let me know what y'all guys think in the comments about this 4B movement, all right? If you're new to the platform, please subscribe. OGs, I appreciate the love of support. Make sure y'all hit that bell notification. That way y'all know what I'm uploading. Hit the like button because that's the algorithm and helps me reach a broader audience. Also, look out for the travel vlog channel, Unplugged Traveler. Link is in the description. Until the next video, y'all. Deuces.